Hey Bubble family, welcome back to the channel. So for those of you who are new here, you've only just joined, my name is Emma. I'm a qualified therapist and trained life coach. And what I try to do is I talk about things that are in the media, and I give you almost like a real world therapeutic perspective in the hope that if you have something going on in your life that's very similar, or you can relate somehow and you just don't know how to navigate that, then those tips and tools will hopefully help you. So if you want to join in this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up if you like it. If you haven't subscribed, then please think about doing that because it does help the algorithm. And for those of you who have been with me a while, you know what to do by now. Grab your drink of choice, whether it be tea, whether it be coffee, whether it be a latte, whether it be me with my cherries and berries again, whether you'd like to add a little something to that drink of choice, because as I always say, and my flag says behind me, which you can't really, I'm bending down and you can't see it, it says it's 5 o'clock somewhere. So grab your drink and let's dive right in. So in today's video, I'm going to talk a little bit more about the christening, because I saw some of the comments and I kind of wanted to explore a little bit more as to why I feel angry, but why I think people are angry. Now, I know that a lot of people have said that the titles were going to happen anyway. Yes, that is true, due to the letters patent, I think 1917. The titles were always going to be given to the great-grandchildren of the monarch. Now, do I believe the christening happened? Because I've had so many people say, do you believe this really happened? And if it didn't, why have we heard about it? I'm going to say no. And this is my personal opinion. So I don't believe the christening happened. And so then it comes to, but why would Harry and Meghan lie? Now we know, and I always reiterate this, you are dealing with someone who I believe is a narcissist. So with that being said, you have to try and think the way a narcissist, it's almost like if you want to outsmart a narcissist, you've got to think in a way how a narcissist thinks. And how would we know those titles were going to happen? Because it's not like we're sitting there every day kind of looking at the royal website, and I'm pretty sure the media doesn't either. And not only that, then maybe a couple of UK media outlets might have put a page out about it, but it probably wouldn't have circulated in the States or anywhere, you know, to the degree it has. So you've got to look at the fact that Harry and Meghan were probably, well, I'm not going to include Harry in this because at this point I feel like this is Meghan running the show. So I think Meghan would have said, right, okay, we need to get these titles out there. We need everyone to know. We need to distract from all the negative press that we've been getting. What will do that? And of course, the one thing is going to be something that's supposedly happy news, a christening. So I think personally that this was put out intentionally, and we know, we've seen before, they don't do anything by chance. So they needed those titles to be circulated. So I think the way they did that was they created a christening, but they had to have the little dig with the royal family. So they had to have it their mouthpiece. Oh, you know, I'm mad Scobie, to publicly put it out on Twitter, because it would have looked very pretentious if they'd have just gone, we've been given the titles for our children, even though we dislike the royal family. We've said they're racist and everything else that goes along with it. So I believe they fabricated a christening, and I do believe this is the case, because I've always said that at this stage, I am not even sure I believe the child is legitimately hers. Now, could the child have Harry's DNA? Possibly. But how do we know? I mean, we're only going on what we're being told. We're only going on the fact that these two children are in the line of succession. Now, okay, they're what, 6th and 7th down, so it's the odds of it ever coming to anything is pretty slim. But it doesn't matter. It's what it signifies. And I think I can speak for a lot of people. It's not the fact that these children have been given titles. These children, whoever they are, whomever's children they are innocents in this. But the reason I'm angry is because they are being dragged into this. These two could have had a very private life, given the fact that they are so incensed with the media. And I'll get to that in another video, in Harry's censorship of the media. They could have gone off. They could have led a very private life. And their children could have grown up semi out of the goldfish bowl, so to speak. We've got the future king and queen, the heir apparent, and his wife Catherine, who've got 3 beautiful children, who they keep very protected. And there's only select photographs that come out, or when they go to special events, they are very protected, and they lead, by all accounts, very normal lives with their family, with friends. They manage it. But Harry and Meghan have shrouded these children in so much secrecy that they have actually created the very monster I believe they're trying to avoid. Now, 2 reasons. There could be 2 reasons for this. One, which is the one I kind of believe, which I do not, and this is a personal opinion, I do not believe they were born of her body. So yes, okay, surrogate could have been used, or like I've said before, Harry could have potentially got somebody pregnant. If that's the case, they should not have been put in the line of succession. So it's not the fact that these children have been put in the line of succession or been given those titles. It's the fact that they are in there, in the sense of, we don't know anything about these children. We have 0 proof of where they were born, because there is nothing, no evidence. I believe their birth certificates are supposedly sealed, I think. Don't quote me on that. But they are shrouded in secrecy. Nobody sees them, apart from any weird photo shoot that's set up, any weird video footage on their docuseries, which was from the side or the back of the head. Or if it was blurry, so you couldn't quite see it if you sort of homed in, or it's black and white to avoid us detecting the colour of the child's hair. It was weird. That docuseries, there is no other word for it. And why would you have Harry walking with an empty pram? It's like they know. They don't even almost try to hide the fact. When they do it so badly, they don't even try to hide the fact. You have a photograph of a young Lily who was apparently 1 year old with so many teeth, sitting very bizarrely, and then a picture that was supposedly taken the same day where Meghan looks 10 years younger, all pre like any work that she's had done. And I'm not body shaming at all, but she does look a lot slimmer. And the child's hair is different. You can see the way the child's hair is cut. It's different. And I will put those pictures up here. Harry's hair. 1 minute he's got straight hair with a widow's peak. Thank you for the people that, because I couldn't remember, widow's peak. And also thank you for the people that have picked up on who I'm talking about when I say that they are using this particular person's son. And then then he's got head of curly hair. 1 minute, then he's got brown hair, then he's got red hair, and then he's got sort of auburn hair. It's a bit like her bump, forever changing size, or where it's ended up. And you only have to have a pair of eyes and really think with your brain to see that she was not pregnant. And this is why I feel angry, is because what the heck is going on? Why are we being lied to? Why are the royal family or whoever is in charge of all of this treating us like idiots? Why? For what? For what? To save face? Because that's the bottom line here, isn't it? Why lie? And this is what I tried to say before. If she had a surrogate, there's no shame in that. There's no shame in having a surrogate. In fact, it probably would have endeared so many people towards her for not being able to have children. There is no shame in having a surrogate. There is no shame in not being able to have a child, and even if they wanted to adopt or whatever it is. So then it comes down to, is it because she wanted to have the child in the line of succession? Well, then in which case then we have to say that the royal family are complicit. Even if they weren't in the beginning, they are now. Because other than that, are they that naive that they would have 2 children in the line of succession? One they've probably never seen, because I don't believe Lily has ever come to this country, even though there's been reports of her coming to the Jubilee, yet she wasn't here. And no one's seen hide nor hair of Archie since he's supposedly they left the UK. But like I said, I always will believe that I think A is here. But it's also as well, and I have looked into this, but King Charles does have, I believe, legal rights to those children. So was this a clever ploy? So by putting them there, does this mean that if there is a divorce, that King Charles could step in? Not that I think that he would, because I think the thing around that would be huge. But would he then be more inclined to have the children brought back to the UK? Or one of them is already in the UK, or whatever. Either way, it's so frustrating for me, and I'm sure many of you. And as much as, like you, I am sick to death of the pair of them, but the problem is now that I have gone so far down this rabbit hole that now I'm invested in wanting to know the truth about these children and wanting to know why we are being lied to. And are we ever going to find out? Because a few people have said, what's the point of this? How far can this go? Now, in my opinion, are they trying to find a child, which is why they've kept Lily so secret, have they gone for an adoption and they have found, so the child that we are now seeing, say, in the docuseries, perhaps is a child that they've secured via an adoption. Which is why I think that we didn't see much of her in the beginning. But I think they're doing it very cleverly, so even though we see the child, we don't fully see the child. And I think the same with A. I do, and I will stand by this. When I saw the picture, and I know that so many people have said to me, where's the picture? Where's the picture? Okay, I think I can kind of do this. So I'm going to put the picture up here. And the child on the left in black and white is not, let's just say, is not A. The other child is the child that they put in the Oprah interview. And I'm sorry, when I saw that footage with supposedly Meghan with a baseball cap on hiding her face, and then when you tried to zoom in, it was all blurry. You couldn't even zoom in properly on that footage. That was not her. Her body shape, everything was not her. So that tells me that the particular child that they were trying to palm off as A was in fact the other child. Now, I'm not going to mention names, and I know that a lot of you know the name, but I'm not going to put that here publicly because I probably would get into trouble. But it's a photograph, and that photograph was on the public domain, so I know that I am I'm okay to do that. But let's just say that the child on I believe the left in the black and white was what I got from this particular person's online account. And then look at the other child, and you tell me if you don't see the resemblance in those two children. One of them is being passed off as Archie, the other one isn't Archie. Well, they're both not Archie, but one of them is being passed off as him, the coloured one. No. Oh, I can't even remember the photograph. One of them's coloured, one of them's black and white. But you'll see what I mean. Because I know so many of you have said, where's the photograph? Where's the photograph? And I've seen other people put photographs up, so I kind of feel like I'm pretty safe to do that. I'm obviously not going to mention any names, because that I do think I would get into trouble for. But you can draw your own conclusions. And I think, just as a person from the UK that is from Sussex, I feel incensed that we are being lied to. Above everything, I don't like being lied to. And especially when it's happening on a global scale. I want to know why. Now, okay, it's probable that we're never going to know why, but I think that is why so many of us are so angry. It's not the children. It's not about the children as in like them personally. I feel sad the fact that there are children being brought into this, no matter who they are innocent children. And this is why I have been very reluctant even to put photographs up, because of the fact that these are real children being used. But there comes a point when do we just stop caring? Do we just stop caring about the fact that they're lying to us? Because we know they are. And so do I think... because obviously now the thing is coming out about them not coming to the coronation. The children are not coming to the coronation, even though it's not a family thing, it's a state thing. And I think that's going to give them the excuse not to come. So it's very possible that Harry will come, but she won't. And I think that the reason being is that A, it's supposed to be allegedly Archie's birthday. I always flip between A and Archie, so I'm not getting myself confused. So I think, and also the fact that there's now been the rumour that the children are not to come, because I think they were saying that what I was seeing was that they were making these demands of that there should be a birthday party for Archie. I mean, again, I don't know if this was true, but this is what I'm seeing circulating, which I think is just shocking, because I know for a fact that I just absolutely believe that they're not going to bring those children here. Or I just feel so frustrated, and I know that you guys do, and I get so many comments and emails of where to, you know, of your frustration, and I feel it. I really do. I feel fed up with the rabbit hole that all of us have gone down, and the problem I have is, being a therapist, I have this dichotomy of therapeutic perspective and my personal feelings on this. And sometimes they marry up and sometimes they don't, and I have to differentiate. In this case, I think it's the frustration of being lied to and how big this lie goes. And I do think that Harry and Meghan are aware of it all. And I think that they did this christening announcement to put out about the princess title, because they needed it circulated. So they used a christening to get that out there. And I know that some people have said, oh, we're going to see pictures around the coronation. Yeah, we possibly might do. But then that gives them time to orchestrate pictures, let's be honest. Because if there was really a christening, I'm sorry, if there was really a christening, she would have put pictures out. They would have put pictures out, because they know, they watch social media. They know that there's so many things circulating around Lily and Archie. They know that. So I do think, because even if they do put pictures out on the coronation, it's very possible that a lot of the media will boycott that, because they will know exactly what they're doing. That's what, with the Jubilee, they did something very similar. We hardly heard about Harry and Meghan. So it's possible that they're taking a bit of a risk where that's concerned in getting those pictures circulated. And also it really will show how petty they are. So I don't believe that even one picture, we've seen a picture of Tyler Perry standing around with supposedly he's turned up with a choir, but nothing else. Apparently there's like between 20 and 30 people, but yet no photographs of anyone turning up. You know, it's odd. Does it not seem odd that she can be papped coming out of a restaurant, which nobody knew she was going to be there, allegedly, cough, cough. But yet the Montecito mansion where they supposedly live, never any footage, never any photographs of them coming out of the gates, leaving to take Archie to school, walking around with Lily. In the docuseries it was there, where they were walking around, but yet we never see any photographs ever of them walking around with the children, apart from ones they allegedly put out. It's just all smoke and mirrors, all smoke and mirrors. And at this point, I just absolutely do not believe anything they say. I do not believe they had a christening. I do not believe 20, 30 people turned up. I think at this point, they probably sent out a last minute invitation to the royal family, knowing that it was going to get rejected because the royal family booked themselves up well in advance. So why would they not have done this well before? But also, can you blame the royal family, even if this was real, for not turning up? Would you? Would anyone turn up to when you've got family that have lied and trashed you in the media? No. So yeah. So that, I feel angry because I am just sick and tired of the lies, and I am sick and tired of, in a way, running a channel which when you're trying to do what you're doing and it just never lets up with those two. You know, I try and do videos outside of Harry and Meghan, but people aren't interested. I think we're also caught up in the vortex, even though we kind of get frustrated, sick and tired of them. We are invested. We are invested in this. And I think a lot of that is because we want to see them get consequences. And each time there's a glimmer of hope, like when they lose Frogmore Cottage, it's almost like you can hear everyone kind of going, yes, finally something's happening. And then you get the Prince and Princess titles, and then everyone goes, oh, are they coming to the coronation? Are they not? They are in the media, whether we like them or not. And whatever they're doing, if you look at it in that way, they are never out of the media. They are a source of conversation for so many people. I wouldn't want their life. Would you? Because I certainly wouldn't. To have this constant looking over your shoulder, constant not being liked, Harry falling from grace so dramatically, being the second most popular royal under the Queen, to now, I think, what is he, the same as Andrew or just above Andrew? I'm not sure. And then Meghan, I think, she's lower than him, or she's just, I'm not sure. But they're they're the bottom three, probably. So yeah, I would not want that. I would not want that. So let me know what you think in the comments in regards. I just wanted to talk a little bit more about the christening, because I did touch on it in my last video, but I felt that probably got a little bit overshadowed. And then I was looking at the comments, and I just really felt like I wanted to talk about the anger and everything that we're all feeling. And I think just we've all felt this when it comes to watching a family member get away with certain behavior. If we've all ever had somebody in our life that has treated us badly, or we've watched treat somebody else badly, and yet there doesn't seem to be any consequences, the family forgive them or run around after them or make excuses and enable them. We're seeing this play out in the public forum, not just even with the likes of Harry and Meghan, other celebrities too. But we all suffer this at some point, even in our own personal lives. And so the question is, what would you do about that? I think the thing is unfortunately, you cannot change other people's opinions. We cannot force King Charles or whoever to change how he deals with Harry. We don't actually even really know what's going on behind the scenes. There might be things that are in play that are going to happen after the coronation. Maybe this was just something that had to happen as soon as King Charles was made king. It just took time for it to come onto the royal website. But maybe there are things that are happening behind the scenes. They certainly cannot stay at Frogmore now. So I think maybe we just have to trust that, like I say, that things are happening. I think just because we don't always see it doesn't mean that it isn't. I'm hoping that's the case anyway. But if, like I say, but if it comes to your personal life, again, you can only look after you. So if this is happening to someone around you, you have seen this happening to somebody else, if unfortunately you cannot change people's minds, if they just don't want to see it, they won't see it. And at some point, I'm guessing they will. And in which case, then you can make that informed decision as to whether or not you are going to accept that person back. But in the meantime, you just have to go on as much as you can living your life and not let this person continually have that power over you. So yeah, so I hope this has been a good video. I did and ah whether to do this one today, and so I will put the picture up that people have asked me for, but like I say, I'm not going to name the names, so you can just draw to that conclusion yourself, but let me know in the comments. Just a little bit of waffle, so for those of you who are probably going to click off now, so yes, you've probably noticed my hair has gone back to my natural colour. I was sick and tired of trying to get that colour auburn, the right colour. Just couldn't do it. It just ended up being like Heinz 57 different shades. So in the end, I just thought, you know what, just go back to what you know, and I've gone back to my brown colour. I should probably get bored of this in a few months and go back to being something else again, but for now it will do. I've just gone back to, so no more greys. So just my normal colour. And just a little note on the old menopause, this is how bad my brain fog got today. I had some lunch and then I was working, and then I remember in the work, as I was finishing, I thought to myself, I need to make myself some lunch. I haven't had any lunch yet. So I went downstairs and I remade myself an egg sandwich. And as I was eating it, I just sat there and was like, oh my gosh, I actually had one for lunch and I'd forgotten. In the space of an hour and a half, I had forgotten that I had eaten lunch. And so went and made myself some more lunch. And I wonder why I'm not losing any weight. So yeah, happy days. So for those of you who are suffering with the menopause, I feel your pain. I'm not sure what I'm going to forget next. But anyway, so if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Thank you so much to everyone who has been supporting my son's channel. You are amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And if you want any of the links to everything, they are in the description box below. So please go and check that out. You can email me. You can send me something in the PO box. What else? I am on Rumble. There is a Facebook group you can join. If you would like to treat me to a cup of coffee because you like what I do here, please do. That would be very appreciative, but not necessary. You can join that to be a Patreon and a member, all of those things. But like I say, everything is in the description box below, so please go and check that out. In the meantime, I will see you in the next video. But as always, I love you, I appreciate you, but most of all, I respect you. Mwah. Bye, Bubble family.